Hey everybody, it's Cam coming at you with the third video today on March 30th. I'm trying to separate the videos. I think it does better for, searching for specific tickers. All in one doesn't seem to be doing as well. But this video is going to be about GameStop AMC. GameStop had a stronger day than AMC today. AMC basically closed flat. I think it was actually at 0%. But GameStop here is what we'll look at first. So GameStop here on the daily chart. You'll see here yesterday basically had this doji candle, and then today pushed up higher, so we closed at 194.46, up 7%. So pretty solid day for GameStop in terms of percent. Not as high as it can move, but if you look here on the daily chart, especially, the positive thing is like we've separated out away from the 22 moving average here, which is the yellow line, and bounced up basically up higher off the 9. So the 9 EMA right now corresponding at 185. Happens to be at this 38.2 fib level, which has been a significant level for GameStop, for basically the move up in February, so basically the last month. And, excuse me, acting as basically buyer support, pushing us in. And you see, we've been up to 204 today, so that $200 area is still acting as resistance, and that does correspond with this increase in volume here, which is kind of hard to see just from the chart. But there is a area of more volume, between 200 and 210 that we will look to break through tomorrow if we can get an increase in volume. See, we had 6 million more shares traded today compared to yesterday, and a higher percentage of that was on the buy side here according to the mixed volume. So look to see that buyers are trying to hold these moving averages here as support and push us back up. So if we go to what do I want? 5-minute chart here. You see, basically had this sideways action pre-market, get this pop right off the open, go test 200, get all the way up to 202. Sellers come in, smack this thing back down, pull back into the 200 EMA on the 5-minute. Buyers come in to hold that level, and then we get this stair stepper action most of the morning into the afternoon. Right, pull back into the 50, pull back into the 22. Use the 22 area to support again, push higher. Now we're using 9, so we're the upward move is now accelerating quicker, and we get up to 204. Sellers come in and smack this thing back down, pull to the 50, and then your typical algo raid in the last 10 minutes, on high volume here, sells us all the way back to 192. Buyers push this thing back up to 194, close it just below the 50 EMA, and then you'll see here after hours we are downtrending slightly. So sold back off down to 191, came back up to 194, couldn't cross over the moving average. You got the 9 crossing the 50 here on considerably low volume, so it might be somewhat of a muted after hours session for GameStop, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But you'll see here just on 5-minute chart on the daily again off this move. So on the right is basically a volume profile, volume histogram, corresponding with the the time frame we're on. So 5 minutes here, point of control, which is this red space that Thinkorswim comes up with. I actually don't know. I don't think it might be the median of the standard deviation, but there's actually not an explanation on Thinkorswim about what it is. But that's basically saying what this is like the midpoint for the volume, and it happens to be where we've been consolidating here right above that 186 level. So this level has been moving up over the past few days. So it looks like buyers are putting increased pressure now on short sellers. And if you watched the news this week about like JP Morgan and the hedge funds being over leveraged, could be a positive thing for these Wall Street bet stocks and retail investors in general, as these hedge funds could have to deleverage and sell a lot of positions, namely shorts on GameStop and other AMC would be another one too. So that could be a very positive thing to get the momentum back into these retail stocks and provide quick moves higher. So obviously, if we can get through that 204 level that we touched this afternoon, right, we're looking at this 208, 61.8 fib, all the way up to 218 level to take out first as we move higher the rest of the week, if that's in the cards. But we'll go to AMC next. So AMC will go out to the daily. So AMC closed at 1035, so as you see 0%. So we have a doji candle. It's essentially green here on Thinkorswim just because how the charts are done, right? So it takes the opening price at 6:30 a.m. and the closing price at 1 p.m. or 4 p.m. on the East Coast and plots that. So, but it's actually the same exact price level as the close from yesterday. So if you're a candlestick investor and you believe in candlestick, there's a thing called like a double doji. So when you get a doji candle, you like to look at the direction for the next day. So like if you had this doji and this candle starts moving up, right, you're pretty well off to say that's going to be the start of a upward trend. And you see the next day we got a doji, so now you're definitely looking at the next candle, right? So it's basically not saying it has like a doubling effect on the market direction, but your percent odds of this candle being the basis for the next trend is significantly higher. So if we get a green candle tomorrow, that could be the start of the next uptrend. If we get a red, right, it could be the start of the next downtrend. Where that extension goes still, it's going to be based on the chart. So if, let's just say tomorrow we get a red candle, obviously the target downward would be here at this 8.9 level, right, where we have, two lows, 8.9 to 8.95. So this $9 area would be the first spot down, looking for buyers to come in. You get the green candle open tomorrow. You're looking across the 9 EMA first, 1085, and then take out the top here, 1153. And as you can see now here on the daily, just looking at volume levels, that does correspond pretty well with buyers come in, right? High volume in the 8s, and then pretty low volume here, relatively in the 11s. So if buyers can come in, we get this high volume, push this up through the $11 area, could pretty quickly get back to 12, and then move up from there. But you see here, buying interest. GameStop had increased volume today. Volume compared to yesterday is essentially the same, 37 to 38 million, and that's quite a bit lower than last week. Excuse me. But so interest needs to come back in for AMC to get a significant move higher. So if we just go down to the 5-minute chart here, right, see we get a pretty significant sell-off this morning, right? Some indecisions to start, get a retest of pre-market highs, can't get through it. Sellers smack this thing down, but buyers hold this 9.8 level, so we got this huge tail on 5-minute candle here. And if you look at the volume, highest volume candle of the day, almost entirely on the buy side, pushes this back up. Basically still get some consolidation here, but still higher low, right? So we're getting this pennant forming, breaks out above the moving averages here, crawls back to the 9, and then we get this tightening again on the 5. So buyers came in pretty solid right at the end of the day, pushed this thing back up to 0. So that could be a positive indication for tomorrow, that we could look to go green. And then just like GameStop right now, trending slightly lower in after hours on really low volume. So could be quiet after hours. Things could pick up pre-market, if we get a significant movement in stock futures. As you know, the main indices today were pretty indecisive on their movements, tight range. So everything's kind of in a consolidation contraction period right now, market-wide. I think it's a lot of uncertainty going on right now, so could have a pretty explosive move either way in indices and these Wall Street bet stocks going forward. So that's what I got in this video for you guys on GameStop and AMC. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. Everybody's very opinionated on GameStop, AMC, and price targets. So these are just my opinions based off of what I'm seeing on the charts. So if you are seeing something different, please let me know and let's have a conversation about it. Anyways, appreciate you guys taking time to watch the video, and we'll see you in the next one.